All right, Shalom. I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and double salutations to our Yuakim out the laboring, the house of David, the elect, that's pushing this word with all truth, righteousness, and sincerity. Shalom to you, brothers, and shalom to the elect. I'm back with another quick lesson through the Holy Spirit, the Rakakwadash, and I want to jump right into this article here. This is from the dailymail.co.uk, and the headline it reads, it says, Luigi Manon canonized as a saint by crazed online fans after death penalty bombshell. Okay, so people are exalting this guy as some type of hero for the people that are being oppressed by these corporations. That's how Esau's media is spinning it. Okay, people are genuinely like supporting this guy. Okay, and what I wanted to point out in this lesson is Esau is using this to further push that hate and division amongst these American people. All right, so we're just going to continue to keep an eye on this, right? But it says, reading on, it says, Luigi Manon's fans are expressing outrage online that the alleged assassin could face the death penalty after being indicted on federal charges in Manhattan. The alleged killer of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson was charged Thursday with federal crimes of murder, stalking, and weapons violations, escalating the case after his indictment on state charges. It says, while the death penalty has been outlawed in New York for decades, the federal charges against Manon, 26, could mean he's sent to death row, though prosecutors have not said whether they will seek the death penalty in the case. All right, so people are in outrage all over the internet about this, right? So it says, reading on, it says news that Manon could face the death penalty has only heightened fascination with the alleged killer, with people posting fan art that depicts him as a religious figure. One of these images was even posted near the scene of Thompson's murder. It says many online are claiming Manon is facing worse punishment than hardened criminals and school shooters, speculating that the government wants to make an example out of him and prevent some sort of revolt against corporate America. You see that? So this is why I said Esau is going to use this to further push that divide amongst these people. Okay, because like I said before, people are tired of the injustice that goes on within this system. All right, the federal, so-called federal justice system, what goes on in the medical industry, you know, all the fraud and corruption, the oppression, you know, so people are pretty much lashing out, you know, and this is why they're pushing him, or they're exalting him as a hero all over the internet right now. And this is what's going to cause even more sedition throughout the society. All right, and I want to add on to that by playing this video here. All right, because we see where this is going. All right.
He's accused of cold-blooded murder in Midtown Manhattan, but instead of condemnation, 26-year-old Luigi Manon is getting support. Social media buzzing with sympathy for the suspect, who police say gunned down the CEO of United Healthcare.
All right, Fox 5's Teresa Priolos here now with a look at what's driving all this. Teresa.
Yes, Steve and Natasha, is he an avenger or is he an assassin? That depends on which corner of the internet you're in. Luigi Manon is receiving global support. People are sending him money, while others are making merchandise. This as other healthcare CEOs are beefing up their security.
Yeah. Other CEOs are boosting up security because they think they're gonna be next. All right, this guy, you know, has pretty much set a trend. You know.
It's a case that has simultaneously heightened fears and tapped into a deep distrust of the one industry every person in this country relies on, the healthcare industry. In the days since Luigi Mangione allegedly executed United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, other healthcare execs have beefed up their own security. Their names have been either scrubbed from their company websites or they're hard to find. And now their pictures are plastered on wanted posters all over the city. The reason, the concern is they're next.
We'll say it over and over. Violence is never the answer, but you can only push people so far. And then they start to take matters into their own hands.
Boom. You already know. Let's get that. 2 Ezra chapter 15. Okay, like I said, you know, people are tired all over America, man. They're pissed. They're pissed off. All right, they're tired of the of this system, this oppression. All right, the corruption, the lies, you know? So this is what's causing people to rouse up. Okay, this is 2 Ezra 15. In verse 14, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." The point, verse 16, for there should be sedition among men and invading one another, right? So the point is, this is the sedition that's going on, the rebellion. All right, like she said, people are ready to take matters in their own hands. Okay, so don't be surprised if there's more stories like this that's going to follow through later. All right, this is prophecy. For there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Exactly, like she said. You know?
The support for Mangione is unlike what's typically posters all over the city. The reason, the concern is they're next.
We'll say it over and over. Violence is never the answer, but you can only push people so far. And then they start to take matters into their own hands.
The support for Mangione is unlike what's typically seen in high-profile murder investigations. Merchandise is being sold on Etsy. Mommy's Little CEO Killer, Defend, Deny, Depose, mugs and hats. Free Luigi totes on Amazon. Support has gathered steam on social media and e-commerce sites.
I think the popular support, it's hard to know whether it's more than it might have been some years ago, but it's certainly more visible than it would have been many years ago. Anybody with a computer and a smartphone, can just let loose.
The support for Mangione has extended to a legal defense fund. GoFundMe has recently removed a fundraiser in his name, but the site Give Send Go has not. They've set a $200,000 fundraising goal. $40,000 has already been raised. Even more shocking, the written support for this alleged assassin. This person gave $1,300, quote, coincidentally the same amount I was charged for my 100% covered medical procedure. Quote, for my mother, a victim of the insurance industry. Mr. Mangione, thank you for your sacrifice. May others follow in your footsteps of bravery and justice.
You see that? A victim of the insurance industry. May many more follow in your footsteps, man. All right? The shit's going to get crazy out here. But see, as I did the lesson before, all right, what Esau is doing is he's fanning the flames of violence, man. All right? This is going to be this incident here is going to play a big factor in the division, all right, that's going on here.
Quote, you have united a divided country in a way that nobody thought was possible. So another twist in this case, Mangione's attorney says he doesn't feel comfortable accepting all of those community donations that you just saw there to pay Mangione's legal bills. The online fundraiser says if the money can't go to Mangione, it's going to be used to support other U.S. political prisoners. Natasha.
Yeah, I think you captured the pulse really well.
There you go. All right. So like I said, just pay attention, you know? So let's see if there's any more. So here, here's the different social media accounts they put on the website here, just showing people speaking out of what's going on. All right. Here's some more screenshots of people giving their opinions about how they feel about what's going on, what they're doing to them. All right. More pictures. All right. So once again, we see where this is headed. All right. Let me get one more scripture, and I'm gonna play another video. All right. It's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 3. All right, straight to the point. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 8, it says, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. All right, so we're in a time of hate and war right now, man. All right, everybody's being riled up. You know, people are speaking out. Okay, you know, the rebellion that's going on against this government, against this system. All right, so there's going to be a great lashing out, if you will, which is going to turn over until pretty much all hell breaking loose. You see? Let's play a little bit more. Got another article or a video here I want to just add in there. All right. It's from CBS News. New details on notebook that Luigi Manon prosecutors may use as evidence. All right. So like I said, this whole thing, you know, looks like it could be set up, of course. But either way, it plays into the downfall of Babylon. All right.
Let's go to another big story right now to New York. Luigi Manon, you see him right there? That is him walking in chains. He is now back in the state where prosecutors say he shot and killed the CEO of United Healthcare. So authorities moved him with long guns on either side of him to his new home in Brooklyn's Federal Metropolitan Detention Center after waiving extradition in Pennsylvania yesterday. So after arriving in New York with his chains on his ankle and his waist, well, he showed up looking a little more preppy. The 26-year-old murder suspect seen in these courthouse renderings in that federal court, standing before a judge where the judge read the federal charges against him. The federal complaint listing the charges, also detailing a document that police found on Mangione during his arrest. It was a notebook reportedly containing handwritten passages that express hostility towards the health insurance industry and particularly against wealthy executives. So let's go live now to CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson. Welcome, Jessica, on a Friday. So let's go over those new details. They're fascinating. That document, how does the document push that case forward for prosecutors and really evolve for the defense?
So I think what it helps prosecutors show, number one, is the stalking charge, the idea that there is lying in wait. Number two, that there's premeditation. I think essentially the notebook the prosecutors will want to use to try and undermine any claims that Mangione could not form the intent, that there was some sort of mental illness here, that Mangione had mental issues that prevented him from forming the mens rea necessary to show these charges. Now, not every piece of evidence and not every piece of evidence in its complete form will be read to the jury and shown to the jury in a potential trial. But this, again, I think the prosecutors will use to show he knew exactly what he was doing. He was able to plan. He was able to premeditate. He was able to lie in wait. And of course, here is his motive. This was him. And here is the document that ties him, among the other pieces of evidence, to this crime.
And in his own handwriting, according to reporting as well. So I also want to talk about Mangione's court appearance yesterday because the judge read him those new charges. But we also, Jessica, got our hands on a transcript of what Mangione's lawyer had to say in court, essentially saying this is a highly unusual situation we find ourselves in. She went on to say, I find it out today that all of a sudden we're here in the Southern District of New York facing charges that one charge is death eligible. And I would like to seek clarity, she said, from the government exactly what's happening here. Is there one case, two cases, two investigations? Is it a joint investigation? So clearly, her attorney is offering some pushback against these concurrent charges, claiming it could constitute double jeopardy. What do you see in her comments and how it could inform the argument going ahead?
I see a vigorous advocate, and that's who the Mangione family apparently hired, somebody who's experienced, somebody who is going to walk into court and not make it easy for the prosecutors. That is a vigorous defense. In this case, saying, well, now all of a sudden there are two charges. One thing to think about when we talk about double jeopardy, I think there's a general understanding that it means you can't be punished or tried twice for the same crime. But here what we're talking about is federal charges versus state charges. The federal government and the state government are separate sovereigns. And it is possible, as long as the legal elements are distinct enough, to face both a federal case, we've seen this before, and a state case based on the same set of facts, as long as the elements of the crimes are substantially different.
Right. So, this is just another distraction. All right. Either way, it's being used to rile up spirits, man, to rile these people up. That's the point of me, just bringing out this lesson real quick. All right. You see what they're doing online. They're praising them. You got girls, praising them and, writing them love letters and shit like that. You know how it is, man. But they're using this, as I said, to further, fan that violence, that division, that hate, if you will. You see? All right. So real quick, Isaiah 19 in verse 2, it says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." So the Lord has poured out that spirit of division, and that's why we saw in the first video, you got CEOs from other companies, corporations that are beefing up security because they're scared. They feel like they're gonna be next. All right, people are tired of the oppression from these companies, man. Okay, this system. So, hey, pretty much at the end of the day, all right, it's gonna go down in some form or fashion, man. Okay, so this is just more fuel for the fire, basically. All right, so I pray that you were edified in this quick lesson. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Kakodash and Shalom.